Welcome to the Elmwood Playhouse in Nyack, New York. I'm Brian Wendell of Eagles Call magazine. Inside, Eagle Scout Rob Ward is toiling away on a new production of Les Miserables, set to open in just 4 days. He's also hard at work on a big show on Broadway, about an hour from here. Now we'll head to Broadway in a second, but first let's step inside to ask Rob just what it takes to put on a show like this, and whether he has room for me in the cast. One more day before the storm.
I don't know if any of us here at the Elmwood Playhouse have official titles. They kind of vary from production to production. I had the feeling that if we started from the onstage point of the ladder, and we brought it for this production of Les Miserables, I'm the set designer. The vast majority of people who come here and participate in this theater group don't get paid for doing what they're doing. They come here because of the love of theater. And I see a lot of similarities of that in the scouting program as well. When I look at my own troop, we have 10 assistant scoutmasters. We have roughly about 32 boys now. We come from all different walks of life. We do a lot of different things in our professional lives. But when we're there on meeting nights and when we're there on the weekends, volunteering our time, we're there because we want to be there. But we're there because we enjoy ourselves and we're having a good time.
Does anybody have any questions before we start the run?
All right, it's almost dress rehearsal time. See you in the house.
So we made it to New York, so tell me exactly where we are right now.
Well, right now we're in the heart of Times Square, the heart of the theater district. We're a couple steps away from TKTS, where visitors to the city can pick up discount tickets to the shows that are currently running on Broadway.
Now, did you ever think you'd make it to Broadway?
I was hopeful. I thought sooner or later I would. It's always been a dream of mine and a passion of mine. But, we need to cut this short because I got a show to do. So.
Okay, and we're going to see you for the Backstage Tour in a little bit?
You're going to see me for the Backstage Tour, but I'm going to say goodbye, and
thanks,
we'll see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
All right, take care.
This is the Neil Simon Theater on 52nd Street in New York City. You know, they said I'd never get to Broadway, but here I am. The theater was built in 1927 and later renamed for the famous playwright. A production of the musical Hairspray opened here in 2002 and ran for more than 6 years. Right now, it's staging Big Fish, based on the book and movie of the same name. And a key member of the crew of Big Fish, well, it's Eagle Scout Rob Ward, of course. So we're just in time for a backstage tour, so let's head inside. So we're inside the Neil Simon Theater, just about an hour to showtime. What's happening behind stage?
Well, what's happening right now is the crew is up on stage and they're doing their pre-show checklist. In other words, they're getting things reorganized as things wind up in a different spot at the end of the show. So we're making sure that everything's back in place for the top of show. The electricians are up on stage, making sure all the lighting instruments are coming up. And the sound guys are wandering around, making sure all the speakers are firing the way they should. As a matter of fact, why don't we go backstage and see where the real magic occurs before the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, awesome.
So, okay, this is actually where you're standing during the show, right? We're stage right?
We are stage right.
Okay.
This is my side of the stage for the most part during the show.
And what is all this here? Come, let's head over here and look at all these. I think they're props, right? So
These are all props. These are what we refer to as hand props. As you notice, everything has a place, and right now everything's getting into its place. Actors and actresses will come up here during the show, and they'll reach for their prop. That's why it's very important for everything to be in the same place every single night.
and if not, it's on you.
If not, it's definitely on me.
Right.
Yep.
Now, is there an Act 1 area and an Act 2 area? Is it kind of arranged like that at all?
No, I mean, for the most part, the way we arrange the side of the stage here is where people are making their entrances and exits and putting the props in places that are most logical for them to be able to come right off and get something or go right on with something.
That makes sense. Now, this wheelbarrow or this tricycle here, it has to be in the perfect position. Does that mean even the angle of the tire has to be the same way every time?
I always make sure that the handlebar is oriented this way. I always make sure that it's angled into the TV, and I try to put it in the exact same place every night.
Okay. And what's down here? What are we doing?
Well, where we're walking right now is we're coming in underneath the orchestra platform. There's a little hatch here for the musicians to get up and down. There's also a staircase on the far side. But unlike certain musicals, the orchestra is actually over our heads, not in an orchestra pit.
Okay, gotcha. So there's a lot going on during the show. How do you stay in the moment when it's actually live?
Well, there's a tremendous amount of focus that's involved, and it's something that you just learn as you start memorizing the show. As we were discussing yesterday, you can't afford to be 5-6 steps ahead. You have to be right there. What's my next cue? Where am I standing next? Who's walking this way in front of me? Who's coming up? And you can't let it get stale. It can't ever become rote. You have to constantly be approaching it fresh every night. So that's pretty much what life is like here backstage at the Neil Simon Theater.
Thanks for the tour. This was great.
Oh, it was fantastic having you here.
Yeah.
You should go and get your seat because the show's going to start soon, and I got
there?
a couple. Yeah, right through that door, and I got a couple more things to do before I get ready for tonight.
Thanks, Rob.
All right,
We
it was
appreciate it.
Great seeing you.
All right,
thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you.
On a wing or on a prayer, you'll get there only with your voice.
Be attentive, be inventive, be the first one to rejoice. With a story in your heart, you won't need any other choice. You're a hero, fighting dragons, winning wars. Be the hero, and the world will soon be
We just saw Big Fish and we absolutely loved it. It was pretty cool knowing Rob was backstage working his magic the whole time. You can learn more about Rob in my interview in the latest Eagles Call magazine, and go to nisa.org to learn more about the National Eagle Scout Association. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.